Oh man. Oh goodness, guys, you guys kill me. Eric, ayo, I have a confession made. Wrong and we're all. Who can win the division? The Eagles can win the division? Oh, you were Eagles fan because now Dallas can win the division. John Grinnell, how you doing this evening? Danny Rodriguez, how are you? All right. So, just want to say hi and thank everybody. Armando, how are you doing this evening? Yo, there's a radiator right here next to me. Man, it feels pretty good. All right, tonight I am going to be drinking on something a little different. Jack Wagons is I bet he lets me drive a different car or truck. Copart. All right, I wish so in Maryland. Oh, how are you doing, man? So in Maryland, in order to buy and or sell cars, you can't be a private party. You have to have a dealer's license, and it's some rigmarole to have in order to get that. So tonight I am drinking on a Fat Tire. This is a New Belgium Fat Tire Belgian White. All right, I listened to a podcast not too long ago with the co-founder of Fat Tire, woman. I think her name was, don't give me the line. Anyway, I said, you know what? Next time I go buy some beer, I'm going to get a Fat Tire, and I decided on a Belgian White. So, salud, cheers. Belgian Whites are the only ales I really like. Morgan's Affordable Lawn and Maintenance. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Well, hopefully, Mr. Morgan, Mrs. Morgan, maybe is Morgan your first name or last name? Hello, everyone. Holy cow, there are 22 of you guys on. Wow. Sean, how you doing this evening? Bad Bill Smoking Q. All right, Bill. All right, well, Mr. Morgan. You know what any of you guys who know me, yeah, Eric, I figured it out. It took me a moment to figure it out. So, any of you guys who know me know there's one thing that I always suggest you cook on a new grill or smoker. Anyone comment down below what it is that I suggest you cook on a new grill or smoker. Robert, how are you doing, sir? Sean says chicken. Morgan, Mr. Morgan, I'm hoping, says chicken. Kirby Q says chicken. John says chicken. Jack and Betty, you guys, you're just awesome. But anyway, I wish that I could buy cars and flip cars. Pollo. Correcto mundo. Choke the chicken. So, but yes, man. Shannon, excuse me. I don't have my glasses on. Nope. I have found a cooking name yet. Help you out. Morgan's Affordable Lawn and Bumpy. So I did chicken. But we're not talking about that right now. That ixnay on that new grill area. Alright. Something then. No. RJ, how are you doing this evening? So there are 28 of you guys. 28 of you guys on the live stream. Wow. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button. It greatly helps out not only these live streams, but it just makes me feel good right here. All right. Oh, Mr. Jimenez, how are you doing? Tracy did fine. I do like it. Tracy did fine. Quester J, how are you doing this evening? Goodness gracious, guys, you guys, you make me feel really, really good that I'm doing this. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Morgan's Affordable Barbecue. So, thanks. I am one step closer to 10,000, and we got to talk about that. I got to figure out like some stuff to start trying to promote to get into that 10,000 mark. Luke Calamatis, how are you doing this evening? Howdy from a bar in Linden, New Jersey. All right. There's a guy. Who was it? There was somebody that was. Oh, Thomas. Thomas lives, I think, in Linden. Yeah, blowing up, man. Well, Lou, you should go to the bar. Take your phone, watch the stream. Robert, tell them where you are. Y'all link up and drink with me. Chuck, how are you doing this evening? No, you should already be on the road. I'm not even reading that, Robert. Anyway, awesome, Chuck, awesome. I mean, I cannot believe that there are 36 of you guys on this live stream. So let's talk about some things. Hey, 707. ¿Dónde está 707? Let's see. Area code. Where in California? Oh, the Bay Area. All right. I read it. Mr. Pena, thank you for your assistance there. Come on, notifications. All right. Robert, that's what's up. Congrats. Lou, ask away. I'm learning shoot. I'm still learning. Let me mute my friends for an hour. I'm still learning, like, on the Big Green Egg. You know, I still haven't figured everything out on that thing. North Carolina, home of the best barbecue there is. RJ, I don't know about that. Robert says I had 2 pellet smokers. All right. So, I wanted to talk about Christmas recipes. You know, we're getting closer to Christmas. And, well, Robert, hold on. Time out. Congrats on the new job. Mr. Pena, thank you very much for loving my videos. All right. Couple of things. Okay. The Yoder and the Green Mountain. How do you like the Green Mountain? The PID controller is the temperature. It does have a dial, yes. Hopefully that's what you're asking about. I've heard some spotty things about the Green Mountain grills as far as the Wi-Fi and being able to connect and monitor temperatures and things like that. But this grill, honestly, it's just on the, it's actually just on the other side of this wall. All right, Raul says he is a Yoder and he loves it. John Greneau, I know John Greneau is one of those people that has a Yoder, and it seems to do just fine for him. Don, how are you doing? Goodness gracious. Hey, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. So I guess I should change the title of this video to, oh my god, I want a double deluxe Lang 84. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I want a double deluxe Lang 84. Or 84 double deluxe? I don't know. Pellet smokers feels like cheating. You know what? There are times when I have the time to get the grill, like this afternoon, right? So let me just, all right, hold on. Definitely getting one. I'm just worried about what's here with things. Ah, man. 150 to 180 easy. Oh, for jerky. All right. Triggered. You know what? This is very convenient. What's the highest temperature your Yoder can go to versus the Green Mountain Grill? Like there was one or two that can go up above like 500 degrees. I'm just curious. Chicken thighs last week. They turned out really well. Oh my gosh. And then Yoder is better for 225 to 500. Okay. Golly. So it seems like, and now one of the other things too, I'm sure I may said it wasn't laying anything. Am I ever going to try a brisket on it? Actually, you know what? See, you guys kill me here. I know that I might try one, though I know better. I know that you know how you have a tool for a specific job, though you have another tool that can accomplish the same task? That's how I feel with like the Big Green Egg. That's how I feel with the Traeger. I'm not really, like, I might try to smoke things on them, but I know that that's not going to be a smoker replacement. Excuse me. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, if I have a one-off thing I need to smoke, I'm going to put it in Vicky. If I have more than what I have, I'm going to use Bernadette, or I'm going to use Bessie. I kind of know, like, I'm all about having the right tool for the job, and I know, yeah, I know that I'm gonna do something different. No, John, I have not. Man, I had to move the Weber stuff around. I don't want to talk about Weber. That's how upset I am with that. So Lou, I probably won't. I'm not even gonna lie to you and tell you, oh yeah, maybe. I probably will never try a brisket on the pellet, only because, again, I have smokers that will do brisket exactly how I want it. I don't want to be disappointed. Like, I've gone through the disappointment of doing it wrong on a grill. All right, expensive. Lowest is a 40-pound bag of Pit Boss pellets for $14.95. Great for long cooks. It adds smoke tube for specialty pellets. Just a heads up. All right, Raul, thank you, sir. So Bumpy, I try to be pretty down to earth and honest with you guys, and that's just how I feel. Each one of my grills and each one of my smokers is a tool to me. Though it's a means to an end and I can get things done, I'm going to use the right tool for the job. So the Big Green Egg, I'm feeling the Big Green Egg. Like, I really like the Big Green Egg for hot and fast, but I like the Big Green Egg for muted hot and fast. Hopefully that you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, I have a big charcoal grill, but I use that charcoal grill for cooking on site and things like that. So I haven't even put it back on the side of the house. I keep it in the garage now, because when I need to take it with me, I can take it with me. Premium pellets if I do brisket, okay. Yep, and that's it, Lou. Like you're absolutely right. You know how you might have your favorite drinking glass or drinking vessel, and if you're drinking like straight Kool-Aid, you might use one type of glass. But if you're drinking a beer, you drink another type. You know, have another type of glass. Or if you're having a mixed drink, you might have it in one type of glass or something like that. I mean, I like to talk tools. But yeah. Did I sell a drum smoker? No, I still have all of the. Oh yes, I do sell drum smokers. I can make one. Um, just curious on my opinion of a comparison opinion. Which three cookers? Which three cookers specifically are you talking about, Lou? What's the So my on-site grill is a crap. I can't even remember what it's called. But they don't even sell it anymore. I have a smoke tube. The drum smokers are 400 right now. So Charles, I'm gonna say this one last time. I feel like I'm talking to one of my children. I can't give you a video about something I haven't done. I haven't done chicken since you asked me about chicken. And or I haven't done chicken in the capacity to be able to do a video on it. So when I do chicken, I will do a video. I know you've been waiting since October, but you have to remember, I have other things to do. This is not the only thing that I do. And I do videos around when I have to do videos. Like this past weekend, I did a video, and I did the video based about me cooking, like trimming the brisket. I had one brisket I had to cook. And in order for me to make a video about that, I said, you know what? I'm not going to focus on the cooking. I'm going to focus on the prep. Okay? So I try to keep these videos interesting, though I'm only cooking like the same basic 4 or 5 things. But you have to keep in mind that I don't get called for pulled chicken every single day. I'm known more for doing pulled pork, ribs, chicken, brisket, and salmon. So trust me, the next time I do video or I do chicken, you will get a video. Trust and believe. I have not forgotten about you. I haven't. But I can only say that I can't do a video on something I don't have produced, or I can't make it so many times. All right. I mean, Big Dre, how you doing? The Traeger, the egg, and my go-to Bessie or Vicky. So I will tell you this. There's a difference in flavor slightly between Bessie and Vicky because of the fact that Bessie is all wood. Vicky is, I use charcoal and a couple splits in Vicky, and Vicky will give you like a smoke flavor and a cook like a 7.5 to an 8.5 out of 10. Bessie will give you a smoke flavor and a cook like an 8.5 to a 9.9 1/4. All right. I mean, I know theoretically it's probably closer to like a 9 or a 10, but like if I gave you a piece of brisket that was cooked in Vicky, and I gave you a piece of brisket that was cooked in Bessie, and told you to tell me which one cooked them, you wouldn't tell. You could tell that there's a difference possibly, and I think I can tell that there's a difference because I know the difference from when it first comes off the smoker or when I first finish it and I cut a little piece off and I taste it. That's the difference. Now, as far as the difference between the big green egg to me, I feel like they're like, I don't want to say that I feel like there's a problem with it or that I can't cook in between. I feel like I haven't mastered it yet. Like I've probably put 10 cooks through the big green egg, and I don't know I feel like there's been 10 good cooks through the big green egg, or on the Big Green Egg, and it's just like the finite differences, the variables on the Big Green Egg are just something I haven't mastered yet. Like I can cook with Bessie with my eyes closed, and I can hit a specific temperature with Bessie with my eyes closed, half sleep. With Sammy, the Big Green Egg, I just cannot. I can't yet, and I think that's limiting. It's a hindrance because I'm not able to cook on it like I want to. Yep, John, thank you. John understands. John says, "Don't mess with perfection. Leave your brisket to the girls in the garage." You're right. All right. Ray Mac, how you doing this evening? Welcome to Ray Mac's Kitchen, girl. Love, not hate. Anyway, oh man, your thoughts on lump charcoal versus sticks? So, lump charcoal will give you the benefits of charcoal with extra flavor. Sticks, you're going like. Again, I'm gonna go back to there's a tool for the job, and like I prefer lump over briquettes, but lump can get expensive where briquettes I can buy at a bulk, like at a discount. So because I like lump over briquettes because it gives me an additional flavor profile, like it gives you more smoky, more wood flavor than briquettes do. But sticks, I mean, I can use a stick like a split, and I'll put 2 splits in Vicky, and I'll get the same type of flavor and the same type of smoke ring that I would if I was throwing sticks all night long in Bessie. And the difference in cost between the splits that I'm throwing in Bessie all night long, especially during the winter, versus the cost of the splits and the charcoal that I'm putting through Vicky, that's a huge thing. Ray Mac, I'm great, man. No problem. John's funny. Big Bill Smoking Q. Did you have to get any permits or licenses to cater from my house? So this is one of those fine line dancing on the, this is a gray area. I'm just going to leave it at that. I've answered that question a couple times, and I don't have everything that I need, but the difference is I'm not selling food directly to the public. So that's one of the things where, like I said, it's more of a lesser gray area. I love the drum smokers. The drum smokers are how I started my business, and that's the reason why the name of the company or the name of my everything is Still Drum Smokers Barbecues, because that's how I started. Lamar, I have never smoked a ham, only because more often than not, hams already come smoked when you get them. Danny, I've seen people cook briskets or split them, to split them apart and cook them. I don't see, because I'm not, how do I put this? If I were doing a competition and I needed the flat to look a certain way and I needed a point to look a certain way, then I would be more prone to split them. But because of the fact that I'm cooking for catering, there's no value add in me separating those. All right, John. Where do I send the bill? Definitely. Joaquin, the shirt should be done by the end of the week. I know. You're not being a pest. Trust me. The problem, and I won't even say it's a problem, but my friend who was helping me out and getting the shirts produced, he had a little bit of a health issue, and he was out of work for a little while and not able to help me out to get these things done. Once he got back to work, and like I kind of didn't want to mention it because I felt bad. Like, I mean, guy was sick. This is my friend, and he was sick, and I don't want to be a jerk and be like, hey man, what's going on with my shirts? You know, no, 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 no. Hey, you know what? Take care of what you need to take care of. Take care of your health. And the shirts, unfortunately, that's my bad. But I can't, I just didn't want to be a jerk, point blank. All right. But Joaquin, I did check on it, and they should be done. He told me they could possibly be done today or tomorrow. So I'm hoping that by the end of the week they will be done, and then I have to get them out. I will get them all shipped. Promise you guys, I will have them all shipped by next week. If as soon as I get them, I will get whatever material. I'll spend whatever money I need to get whatever materials and get them sent. Because I really do appreciate it. I have never done a whole hog, Jermaine. 2 reasons. One, no one is willing to pay how much it's going to cost to smoke a whole hog, and 2, I can do more pork shoulder for less money, point blank. So when people realize how much it's going to cost, and I tell them, hey, look, I can cook pork shoulder for you, and I'm still making money, I'd rather do the pork shoulder anyway. Lamar, I'm actually going to be away for Christmas, so I'm not going to be cooking anything. I do, however, have a brisket to take care of for my uncle. TG, Tyler, I used your seasoning tonight. Thanks, Joaquin. Trust me, it's coming. No mason jar tonight. Tonight I am New Belgian fat tire. This is a Belgian white. I'm enjoying it actually. So I said, Big Dre, one of my steel drum smokers is gonna run you $400. Yeah, and we'll have to figure out pickup and or delivery. Not really prone or keen on wanting to try to ship one, only because I know it's going to be freight and that's going to be expensive. So, yeah, Alan, no. So I started saying it. I listened to a podcast from the lady who helped found New Belgium, or yeah, what is it? That helped found Fat Tire. And I said that I was going to get some. All right, so let's see. So Lou says, that's awesome to know. So there is definitely a difference. And one of the other things, too, I feel like people don't talk about enough. So when people buy lump charcoal, they're expecting the same thing that they get out of briquettes. And one of the things hold on, before I even say this, I want to apologize. I really wanted to talk about Christmas recipes tonight, but this is fine. As long as we have a lively conversation and you guys are asking questions and we can talk about different things, I might just have to change the title of this video. Excuse me for anyone who sees it in the future. But one of the differences between briquettes and lump is, again, the flavor. You're going to get way more smoke flavor out of lump than you will briquettes. Briquettes will burn slower and at a lower temperature, and they will burn longer. The lump, and I've said this before, the lump will burn hotter and faster, and that's what turns people off about it, because they're so used to cooking with briquettes that they don't know how to handle lump. And yeah, it's a crutch, I think. You just have to, again, breaking it down to tools. Everyone understands tools. There's different tools for the job. Like when I was smoking with the drums, I used to mix the briquettes and the lump. I would mix the briquettes in so that I would have consistent temperatures. I would mix some lump in to give me some better flavor, additional flavor in what I was cooking. Tyler, it's good. Okay, it's good. I wanted a little more salt, and that's something that's easily And when you're cooking for the masses, you can't always nail the amount of salt someone's gonna like, just because people have different wants as far as salt. I wanted a little bit more salt. My oldest son, he wanted a little bit more salt. My wife had it and she said it was fine. It was like perfect. So very balanced flavor, very, very good. I just wanted slightly more salt. Really liked it though. Oh, Danny, man, sorry to hear that. Thank you very much for hanging out. So Lou, I mean, it's, you can get a regular old grill, like get a $50 or $60 grill from Walmart and experiment in that, and you'll be fine. That was Amber in a couple weeks ago. All right. Yes, Danny, agree. Big Dre, you travel to Maryland every year in March. Big Dre, where are you from? I do not want to make my own sauce. Ha. Preston, that's what's up. Always use lump. Well, why not use charcoal? Then you'll be able to tell the difference. Yep. RJ, tell him again. I'm staying away from making my own sauces and rubs so I can focus on making the meat. Point blank, if I start trying to make sauces and rubs, that's going to take away from my focus on getting the meat right. No problem, Tyler, man. Pucharatas? What is that? All right, Detroit. Detroit. All right. Mr. Rashad says I can start out with briquettes, and if his fire is getting low, toss on some lump to stretch it out. And you know what? It's crazy. I've never really done, in a grill, I've never really done a mix. I've either done one or the other, unless it was like I didn't have enough of one or the other, and then I might mix them. But for the most part, in the smokers, I have no problem mixing lump and briquettes at all. Big Steve says, why bring the smoker up to temp before adding the meat to clean the smoker out? I usually, and the whole thing is, when you heat up the smoker, heat up the smoker, it allows me to clean it out good before I put any food in it. Like, here's a question for you. Do you boil your water before you put in pasta? I feel like it's a waste of energy if you don't put the pasta in the water while it boils. But that's just me. My wife and I will never agree on that. And there's some people agree with my thinking or my thought, and they'll put the pasta in as soon as you start the water. There are other people that say the water has to be a boil and then you put the pasta in, and just check the pasta. I mean, that's how I feel. But I always put in, I always heat up the smoker before I put my food in. Jack says boil water first. I mean, Preston. I knew I liked Preston for a reason. There you go. Now, Preston, I will say, wow, Raul, see, why? That's just wasting energy. You can use the same heat and energy to soften. John says, the chicken or the egg? The dinosaur. Birds are descendants from dinosaurs. Preston, again. Hold on, Preston. This is you. All right. Cheers, my friend. So, and this is what I'm drinking tonight. I have it in a cozy, and I'm on another one. Pasta doesn't matter for me. But grits I always boil first. I mean, I guess you're right. It depends. All right, let's see. Wait. John, I didn't forget about you. I'll answer you. I don't want to publicly answer that. That's all. Lou says, do you wait for the oven to preheat when I'm making a frozen pizza? I don't cook frozen pizzas very often. My, Lou says his wife throws it in, and he says he waits. So there's nothing to do with the white smoke or it not burning clean. No. So the whole thing is, I wait to put my food in the smoker, yes, to allow, I want the smoker to come up to temperature. And when it comes up to temperature, and usually, and this is one of those things that I've said it in a few videos, I usually let the smoker go wide open. And then once I'm getting ready to put the food in, I throttle the smoker back to where I need it to be. Because if I let the smoker go wide open and go past where I need to, one, it'll come up to temperature faster. Two, it'll get all of that dirty, nasty smoke out. And it's one of those things where I'm checking off multiple boxes by doing this thing. I'm not necessarily saying I'm waiting until the smoke is until the fire is burning clean. I'm waiting until the smoker comes up to temperature. And because the smoker has come up to temperature, the fire is burning clean. The smoker is getting cleaned out. And you guys have seen in my videos, I try to, quote unquote, superheat my smokers and clean them out, like just a steam clean before I put any food in. So again, I'm checking off boxes by following the process. And Big Steve, I'm waiting for it to burn clean because I'm getting it to a certain temperature. Hopefully that makes sense. I like to bring my smoker up to temperature before I put the meat on. Helps to clean the grill, and depending on whatever you place, you can get a good sear. Not really worried about searing it up, searing anything. You preheat so the direct heat does not burn the bottom. All right, Preston, it depends on what kind of smoker you have. That's cool, John, don't worry. Just like leading the receiver, you're absolutely right. Hey. All right, exactly. Charles, how are you doing this evening? Don't you get a better smoke ring if the meat is cold and the smoker is hot at first? Yes and no. I've talked about this before as well. Jack and is it Kulichi? Kulichi 55? Hi. Cue it up is right. All right. Charles, you're not late. You're here. You're right on time. All right, so Jack says, don't you get a better smoke ring if the meat is cold and the smoker is hot at first? So it's a fine line, Jack. If the smoker is too hot, then your meat temperature rises too fast and you're not going to get an effective smoke ring. If your smoker temperature is lower and your meat temperature is lower, the whole thing is the smoke ring happens when they go like this. Okay, so when the temperature in the smoker and the temperature in the meat are basically coming together, there's a point when the outside temperature meets the inside temperature of the meat, and when the outside temperature meets the inside temperature of the meat, that's when the smoke ring stops. Okay, and I believe that's all part of the Maillard reaction. The Maillard reaction is actually when well, Preston, I'm not 100% sure if it's 145 degrees, if it's 110 degrees, if it's, you know what, I've never tested it. And I don't know. You might actually, you know, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're right. I'm just going to say I don't know, and I've never heard a specific temperature before. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that makes a lot of sense. So, if it's 145 degrees, like Preston said, okay? So let's say it's 150, just for even numbers, right? I can think that. So if you let your brisket or something sit out at room temperature, no sauce on my brisket. Lou Calamata says between 140 and 160. So let's go with 150. Boom, we'll split it. We'll compromise. But so here, let's talk about this. If you take your brisket out of the refrigerator, it's probably sitting at about 40 or 45 degrees. Okay, so at 45 degrees to get to 150 degrees, you have a bigger window. If it's at room temperature at 72 or 75 degrees to get to 150 degrees, there's a smaller window. So that makes a lot of sense. If you put it in the smoker and the smoker's at, let's say, 250 degrees, in order to get from room temperature to 150 degrees, there's a smaller window. If you have it back here and you're starting at 40 degrees, okay, and then you go to 150 degrees, that's why you get a better smoke ring. I don't do foil. I put briskets and things in foil pans. And that's one, to capture all of the au jus and other juices, but two, to help me be able to transport them. I don't use butcher paper. Preston, is celery salt or celery seeds. Sorry. Yeah, celery salt or celery seeds. Apparently the nitrates, that's what helps give you that smoke ring appearance. RJ, I do not put sauce on my briskets. The only sauce I use on my briskets is any sauce I collect or the au jus I collect. What wood do you use to smoke? Lou, Mr. Pena. I have a whole video dedicated to talking about the woods that I use. If you go back to my channel and look under playlists, there is a playlist of frequently asked questions, or FAQ playlist. And there's a whole video dedicated talking about the woods that I use. I'm just not going to talk about it because I've answered it a bunch. Yep. Nitrates. Yep. Same thing that makes pastrami pink. That is exactly it. The curing salts are high in nitrates, or curing salt are high in nitrates. That's what turns makes the salt pink, as well as makes the pastrami pink. I tell you what, there's way more science to barbecue than most people, than meets the eye. That's for daggone sure. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we're 45 minutes almost. Yep, ham as well, because ham gets cured in the salt. So, same thing. Lou, that is absolutely right. The nitrates is what helps give the pastrami that pastrami color, because pastrami is brisket. So, yeah. That's what's up, man. You guys, this is a good conversation tonight. I really want to say thank you to everybody who's hanging out and asking good questions. This is number 3. They're called drinks, not sips, and I do just that. It says you cigarettes to flavor. Jack, man, you know what? Jack, all right, listen, Jack. Let's see. Jack, take down my number. Send me a text message. All right? We're going to talk, because I got to help you, man. You keep saying that all you do is taste smoke. We got to figure it out. Jack, get a pen, get a paper. 443-977 4696. Lou says, but there's a difference between nitrates and nitrites. Yes, there is. Let's see. Oh, shoot, that's what it was. What is the crap? What is the difference between nitrate and nitrite? All right, we'll talk about that in a second. John, you missed it. Oh my gosh. You must have blinked. Preston, you know what's funny? I almost like, you know what's crazy? I said, you know what? I think I might take it back to the like old school. I was gonna get a 40 tonight. I really was, cause I knew I was getting beer. I was gonna get a 40. Lou, I'll tell you, there is a difference between a nitrate and a nitrite. Um, Preston, they've been playing too much Fortnite if they're talking about fall damage. RJ says he likes a 60 to 40 salt to pepper ratio. All right. Preston, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing wrong with getting a 40 every now and again. It really, I mean, you think about it like this. This is 12 ounces. This one was 12 ounces. This one was 12 ounces. I mean, 12 times 12 times 12, that's 36. And I still got room. I'm going to go get more. All right. Huh. Okay. So, reading is fundamental. Lou, Calamatis, are you ready for the difference? Ah. And it is in the name. Now that I'm reading this. Okay. The most fundamental difference between a nitrate and a nitrite. Nitrate and a nitrite. Is blah, blah, blah. The most fundamental difference between nitrite and nitrate molecules is that while they both contain nitrogen and oxygen, the number of oxygen atoms is different. Both nitrate and nitrite molecules contain one nitrogen atom, but nitrates have 3 atoms of oxygen and nitrites only have 2. You would think it would be the opposite. The nitrate, again, nitrates, have 3 atoms of oxygen, where the nitrite, nitrites, the one that has tri in it, you think the nitri, like 3, would have the 3 atoms. What? Nope. Here's another one. What's the difference between a nitrate and nitrites? So sodium nitrate and sodium nitrate and nitrite, 2 common preservatives used in foods, are often used interchangeably. So it comes to no surprise that many people don't know the difference between the two. What it comes down to is 1 oxygen atom. Sodium nitrate has 2 oxygen atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. Sodium nitrate has 1 more oxygen atom. So again, 3. That's pretty interesting. Nope. Raul, nah. I've trained him better than that. It's one of those things where I'm like, this is what daddy puts in his food, or this is what daddy uses to season his food. You don't tell anyone what daddy puts to season his food. I'm telling you so that you can carry on how daddy seasons his food. Do you understand? Yes. Okay. Now we can proceed. Like, I'm already thinking about how, it's one of those things that's kind of morbid, but I know I'm not going to be here forever. But I would really love to pass on my barbecue business to my kids. I would love to. I don't know who's going to take care of what aspect, but I think between the 3 of them, they could do what I do. All right. I've been teaching each of them a specific piece, so they kind of have to work together in order to get it done on purpose. I haven't given each of them all of what it is. You get a piece, you get a piece, and you get a piece. Oh, all right, Jack. 443-977-43. Excuse me, 4696. Again, 443 443 977 4696. I'm pretty sure both probably can be used to cure meat as well. I don't know. Either preservative can be added to meat to keep bacteria from growing on it, but once we consume them, nitrates are converted to nitrites in our digestive system. And what's the harm in nitrites? In the human body, nitrates form nitrosanamines, which have been associated with various cancers. There you go. See, I really like talking to you guys because you guys get me. Thank you, Raul. Don't worry, Jack. This, like I said, hit me up. We need to talk. Like, seriously. I gotta help you out. Like, anyone. So, I mean, I know I've talked to a couple of you guys on the phone. I know I've replied to messages from a couple of you guys. Anyone in the live stream right now spoken to me on the phone, hit me up about something, ask me a question offline or anything like that. I mean, I try to answer my phone all the time. Okay, that makes more sense. I've always been confused on why I would make it my whole hog. The ham isn't pink, but in stores it is. Great lesson. Yeah, I mean, so when you make a, let's see, you said confused making a whole hog. The ham isn't pink. So the ham isn't pink because it's not cured. That's the difference between a pork belly and bacon. Bacon is cured pork belly. Pastrami is cured brisket. Yeah. That's why it's pink. Because it's been cured. Bacon has a reddish hue or that pinkish hue because it's been cured. And most bacon has been cured and smoked. Have you seen bacon in the store that just says cured and it doesn't say smoked? Or it might just say smoked and not cured? We're looking into making homemade bacon. There's a lot of recipes. You've been in a specific call for sodium nitrate, which is Lou, talk to Chuck. Chuck, talk to Lou. Definitely there is a difference, and it is one of those things where you can get sick if you mess it up. So you have to be careful. Now, salt and sugar is not going to give you the pink hue that you're looking for. It has to be curing salt in order to give you the nitrates, nitrates or nitrites. So, all right. In the human body, nitrates form nitrosaminites, which have been associated with various cancers. In 2005, a study of the University of Hawaii linked consumption of processed meats to a 67% increase in the risk for pancreatic cancer. Yet another more recent study links eating too much processed meat to heart disease and diabetes. Interestingly enough, the researchers did not find that eating unprocessed meat at the same rate led to nearly the same risk. What's the difference in the meat? It contains similar amounts of saturated fat and cholesterol. The processed meats had 4 times the amount of sodium and 50% more sodium nitrate. So again, you have to be careful. So if you get a pink pork belly and cut some slices and fry it, it won't taste like bacon. No, it will not taste like bacon at all. It will taste like pork belly. There is a, you know what's crazy? When, like, if you look at the pork belly video that I did, the pork belly, when it's uncured nor smoked, it just is unctuous. Like, um, it's just it's a huge amount of fat. And actually, what's crazy is I feel like the curing process and the smoking process, they make the fat taste better and it's more desirable. Let's put it that way. When I make it for my wife and kids, they cut around and they cut out some of that fat and don't eat it. All right, let's see. So Chuck says he will refer you to AmazingRibs.com. All right. So bad. So Bill, yes, corned beef is brisket. Corned beef brisket. You never heard anyone say corned beef brisket. It's just the difference in preparation. It's the same cut. It's just the preparation. Again, it's the difference between pork belly and bacon. Brisket is going to just be smoked brisket. But corned beef is going to be cured smoked brisket. So I use the Pit Boss pellets. Pit Boss fruit mix is what I use today. RJ make pork belly burnt ends. Is burnt ends like the candy stuff? No, not necessarily. I have never smoked a corned beef. I've tried to make pastrami. It did not turn out very well at all. You have to make corned beef before it becomes pastrami. Yep. So you take a brisket and then you turn it into corned beef. And then you take the corned beef and then you turn it into pastrami. It's a process. RJ, some people put a lot of like some, again, it's like, I won't say we as Americans, but we like sweet. So if you have meat and it's sweet, just like maple and, maple bacon, it's sweet. It's good. Sugary. We like sweet. So same thing with burnt ends. Some people do like just straight barbecue sauce. Some people do like maple sugar, not maple sugar, like maple syrup or like, simple syrups and other things like that to give you that sweet and that sugar. Molasses in with the burnt ends. Again, it's just sugar. Hey, Caden, how you doing? Yep, chicken and waffles. It's lovely. Sweet. Big Dre, I'm sure. That's fine. Here you go, Lou. So the reason why pork likes sweet is because it's drier. It's less fat, depending on what cuts you have. Brandon, how you doing this evening, man? Long time. I feel like long time no talk to. I know we cross paths on Instagram, but what recall on beef? Crap. Holy cow. All right. JB Tolleson has recalled another 5.1 million pounds of beef on fears that might be contaminated with salmonella. Gosh, man, you can't eat anything anymore. Ooh, gosh.
I'm Ken Jacobus. I'm the owner of Good Start Packaging. We distribute environmentally friendly packaging.
Hate when websites start ads. Despise. Southeast Texas, what's going on? Manny, how you doing? See, you coat corned beef and cracked pepper and smoke it. Will it be pastrami? No, because the corned beef has already been. Ask me how I know. Okay, you can't just take corned beef and turn it into pastrami. You have to soak the salt out of it. You have to soak the sodium out of it. The corned beef has way more sodium than you would think. Um, and yeah, so wow, Caden, sorry to hear that. No. I saw that. Brandon, I did see I did see that baloney. Like I was looking at it like, man, y'all keep trying to get me to do baloney, and I don't even eat baloney like that. But we're gonna see. One of these days, right? Man, adulting and having to pay for different things. Sometimes I just don't have it extra to not throw away, but just experiment with stuff. Raul, you're right. Man, he got soaking for more than a couple hours. Lou, been there. Have you seen it? I did a video talking about it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bar 20 barbecue, definitely. Oh, golly. 145 quarts? Wow. Mm. Oh my gosh, RJ. Oh man. So, RJ, I had a lady call me, and when or if you start doing this and you get to talking to a lot of people, you're going to have those people that as soon as you talk to them, you're going to get an uneasy feeling. Over Thanksgiving, when I took this lady's order, I had an uneasy feeling. I was just like, this lady's going to be trouble. I know it. Like, sometimes they're unfounded, but other times it's true. Like, sometimes some people just make you work harder than other people. This lady called me, excuse me, she called me, she told me she wanted to order. And I'm like, all right, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and I will get back to you. So I got back to the lady, and she placed the order. Okay, fine. So I sent her the information, sent her the invoice, everything's cool. She took care of the invoice, and I'm like, all right, great. She called me Monday. So I'd already bought the turkeys. She called me Monday, and she said, hi, I want to know if you're aware of the recall on turkey. And I said, yes, ma'am. I'm aware of the recall on Genio ground turkey. And she said, well, I'm reading this article, and it says, I said, who's the article from? And I apologize for the sounds my phone is making. I said, who's the article from? I'm like, did you read past the headline? Well, it's coming from this person. I can't remember who it was. And she's like, well, it's coming from this person. Okay. I said, again, I am aware of one article, or excuse me, one recall. And the recall that is from the FDA, it's on Genio ground turkey. Well, this doesn't even say what brand it is. Don't you think they should tell you what brand it is? The recall is not on whole turkeys, ma'am. The recall is on ground turkey. I'm like, ma'am, it this could be kind of blown out of proportion by someone who doesn't want you to eat turkey. I'm like, this could be someone that's writing on behalf of PETA, right? And she's like, oh no, I don't think so. This is a reputable source. Why? Because you saw it on the internet? No. I'll take my, guidelines from the FDA. And the only thing that the FDA said at this moment, ma'am, is Jennie-O ground turkey. She's like, well, who eats Jennie-O anyway? There are people who only eat turkey and they like Jennie-O stuff. I'm like, I said, ma'am, this is what I'll do. I said, if you need me to send you a refund, I will take care of send you a refund right now. No. I'm not going. I'm gonna do more research. You do more research. I'm gonna do more research as well. I go out. Turkey recall November 2018. Again, the main thing the FDA says Jennie-O ground turkey. Does not say anything about whole turkeys. Does not say anything about Butterballs, who I got my turkeys from, bought turkeys from this year. Doesn't say anything about Purdue or anything. And it's ground turkey. So I do my due diligence. I copy the article. I send it to her and I lengthy explanation. If you look into it, blah, blah, blah. I said, but again, it's up to you. If you're unsafe or, if you're unsure, please let me know now before I start brining your turkey. Because if I brine your turkey, I'm going to bring it to you, or I will not bring it to you, and you will be out the money that you paid. Let me know. She's like, oh no, it's cool. It seems like you're abreast of what's going on. It's fine. Okay. Do you want me to bring you the turkey? Yes, I want you to bring me the turkey. Okay. And it was fine. When I got there, she complained about the turkey being small. I'm like, yo, I told you what size turkeys it were. Big Steve, that's funny. Pangoso broso, ¿qué te pasa? Man, Jack, thank you very much. That's what's up. Yes, definitely being complicated. Good night. Gotta get up early. All right, Big Dre. Thank you very much for hanging out. Some people are happy complaining. Oh my gosh, man. I don't get it either. I try. Anybody heard or know about Gary V? Gary Vaynerchuk? If you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, comment with a V in the down below. It's been around since the beginning of this time. All right, Brandon knows about Gary V. The whole thing is, most of the time, salmonella is on the outside of meat. That's why you have to cook the outside of meat. There's a difference between ground meat and a steak, or whole meat versus a cut or ground. The ground meat mixes the external and the internals together. When you have a steak or a specific cut of meat, all you have to do is worry about killing the germs on the outside of the meat. Now, if any instance of like mad cow, when the cow itself was sick, like even with salmon or something like that, when you get poisoning, the poison is in the muscles, it's in the meat. It's not on just the outside. The germs and bacteria on the outside, the moot point when the muscle itself is infected, right? Gary V. I used to drink Gary V's Kool-Aid. All right, I did. Like, seriously. Gary V was talking to me. Every single thing he had to say was directed directly at me. But then I heard him say something and it got me to thinking. And there's a song out there and it says, I want to be a millionaire so freaking bad. Okay? Gary V broke it down and he said less than 1% of 1% are millionaires. And when you think about it, it's like, daggone. How much money do you have to actually make in order to be a millionaire? A millionaire. It's a lot of money. Okay. And when he said that, I'm like, all right, like this was after the Ask Gary V book came out. And I used to watch and listen to Gary V religiously. Like every single day I was watching YouTube and Ask Gary V. Right? I was watching Ask Gary V before he started doing like the daily V's. Okay? If you want to hear something funny, go back to Ask Gary V, the 200th episode. I'm that Scott that called in and tried to talk to Gary V. And because I was too busy watching on my phone, there was a delay. So when he called me on my phone, it didn't go through. That's how deep I am into the Gary V universe, okay? Episode 200. That was like one of the first times they did a live show. I'm sitting at home and he tried to call me, and because of the fact that I was on my phone watching the live stream, I didn't get the call. Salty. I'm gonna be salty forever. Anyway, but one of the things Gary V said, like Gary V has a thing about complainers. He hates complainers, and I agree. Like that's one of the things I took away from him. I try not to complain. I try to be positive, but there are just some times when you know what, there's nothing else you can do but vent and get the frustration out and complain. But then there are people who only complain. They never see the good in anything. And I try to be the consummate pessimistic optimist. All right. Joe, I'm good, man. I'm good. But the whole thing is, again, Gary V is all about not complaining and being an optimist and looking on the bright side and everything like that. I do those things. But the one thing that got me to the point where I kind of stopped drinking the Kool-Aid with Gary V was he talked about how if business doesn't work out for you, like entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And we all know that. Man, Chuck, you're absolutely right. And he started talking about how entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. Entrepreneurship is for me. I don't have a problem being an entrepreneur. Problem is I have a life that is not conducive to an entrepreneur. Being that in order for me to pay for or maintain a specific lifestyle that we've grown accustomed to, the entrepreneur living, ups and downs, ups and downs, up and downs, is not there. So I needed a steady income. So what I had to do, in the words of Gary V, is drop back and punt, right? I had to drop back, kind of kick off my entrepreneur, not my dream, but my specific business in order for me to go back to work and to get a steady income so that my kids could go to school. So I said all of that to say, I know that's pretty deep. Tony, man, how you doing, man? Some people, Chuck, you're absolutely right. The cup is always 3/4 empty for some folks. William, how are you doing? RJ, thank you very much, man. Definitely, it's the SDSBBQ family, man. Definitely, you guys are more than just family. I mean, more than just friends. Some of you guys are definitely family. Hey, thank you so very much. All right, so the 31 of you guys left on the live stream. Keep your head down, smoke a full, and people will keep mine. You're absolutely right. Torty, man, nobody wants to work for anything anymore. Questa J, deuces. Just made a pernil, man. Shoot. Most of it talk about our new toy. Yes, Andrew, we did. I was trying to talk about Christmas recipes, but everyone else had other ideas, which is fine. Man, it's definitely fine. And he wrote one word, serendipitous. Speaking of serendipitous, I believe my business has grown via word of mouth, and I use that word serendipitous every now and again. And I would say it's serendipitous how, like, I can honestly say that probably my top 50 customers, I can remember exactly who they came from, how they found me, and people are amazed that I remember. But I built my business on interactions. And if I have a great interaction with you, you'll pass my interaction on to the next person. And then when that next person has an interaction with me, they'll pass that interaction on to the next person. And it's not always about the word of mouth or what I had. Sometimes it's about just the interaction. Joe, I would love to see me do a whole pig too, but I'm not, man, I can't afford a whole pig just to cook a whole pig. And then once I cook a whole pig, what am I going to do with a whole pig? So, William, that's what's up, man. Hey, you know what, William? There's nothing wrong with coming in on the tail end. You can hang out to this part, and then you can watch the first part a little later. I know what pernil is, mango sabroso. Pernil is actually the picnic, and not just, excuse me, and not the butt. Yeah, all right, Raul, not a chance. George, how you doing this evening? 1090 rule. Yep, I agree. Brandon, you know what? There's nothing wrong with getting a lot of customers from a specific event or from a specific person. Like, my barbecue around Baltimore City is separated by, you know how they say like 6 degrees of separation? It's less than that. There's like 3 degrees of separation. The brisket that I did for the person I did the brisket for this past weekend, she had the brisket at an event that it was like, when I say I was pooping bricks, it was the first time I sold a whole brisket. I met this guy at a hotel downtown. Didn't know him, okay? And he paid me in cash, right there. But from his brisket, that one brisket, I can honestly say that I've gotten 10 other customers. 10 other customers. Because that brisket went to one person, and this person has, this lady that I took this brisket to this past weekend, she orders a brisket from me usually around the holidays. So almost every Thanksgiving she gets brisket, and once or twice during the year. And this has been over the past 4 years. Like, I won't say I can count on her, but I know that I'm taking a whole brisket to her at least twice a year. And when she gets a whole brisket, it's not for her and her family. Usually, it's because she's having a dinner party or she's having a party. And the people who are at the parties have also ordered briskets. I'm like, hey, how did you find out about me? They're like, oh, Ty sent me. What? Wait, Ty and Owens Mills? That Ty? Yes! Her! What? So, yeah, definitely. Yep. I heard him. Manny. I heard him say it one time, and again, it was in the Ask Gary V. And someone asked him the questions: what happens if your business doesn't work? Or what happens if it doesn't work out? And he said, point blank, sometimes you have to drop back and punt. He's like, I'm playing a long game. And you know how Gary Vee is with the Jets. Him and, and his football metaphors. Thanks, Lou. You guys are funny. I'm a few moments behind, so yes, I sneezed, and now you guys are all saying bless you. Yeah, interesting week in football. No, I cannot believe that Dallas beat the Saints. I cannot. Yeah. I'm telling you, Any Given Sunday. There's a reason why that movie is called Any Given Sunday. All right. I am out. Yes. Man, I sprinkle my business cards around like confetti. Speaking of which, I actually just got some new business cards. And my new business cards now, and I haven't changed my business cards in years, but my new business cards, hopefully it'll focus, contain my YouTube information. I did some rearranging and I fit my YouTube information on the business card. Not that that's really going to help much of anything, but I figured I'm going to go all in. Hey Lou, have a great evening. Torny man, I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Doesn't matter who Dallas plays. But in case anyone actually wants to know, yeah, so I really despise when people don't have information on the back of their cards. Now, if you look at the back of this card, you see the asterisk, okay? It's to get you to draw in on the fact that my YouTube channel was there. I figured there was space there. I was going to draw you to the fact that I have my YouTube information on the back of the cards at Exalt. Yeah. Hey, Bill, have a good one. Rams versus the Bears. I don't know. I've this year. Wait. Oh, tomorrow's Thursday. I gotta fix my fantasy. Batteries and snowballs? What? Man, I am sucking. Right now I have a record of 5-7. 5-7. I should be 7-5. But I've lost some silly I've lost some silly games this year. For granted. Kareem Hunt, man, he deserves everything that he's not getting. He is a fool. You got to do better than that. You have a spotlight being shined on you. You have to do better. I understand losing your temper. I do. But dang, man, come on. Manny, I guess. Yeah, sure. Can't come to New York slacking, it says. Whatever. Alright. I need refills. You won't destroy your TV and record it. You won't. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, I'm drinking beer tonight. I have a Fat Tire Belgian White. I listened to a podcast not too long ago from the lady who helped found Fat Tire, and I said that next time I got some beer, I was going to get Fat Tire. I liked the podcast. Any of you guys listen to podcasts? What I won't say what do you guys listen to, because I really don't listen to a whole bunch of stuff. Canswill? William, I have to get some clear. I haven't talked to my Connect in a while. Let's put it that way. I also have a Fat Tire around my waist. Ain't you seen my movies, Brandon? Hey, John. Thank you very much for hanging out. Always salute. Buenas noches. Yep. Ooh. If I had to give up cars or barbecue, which one? I'd give up cars. Barbecue can feed my family, cars cannot. And like, I have given up cars. Like, I gave my brother my Jetta, my beloved Jetta. I love that car. Like, I told you guys this, and I've made mention of this. I would not be doing barbecue the way that I am if it were not for that car. That car introduced me to car friends. My car friends are the ones who got me to start selling barbecue. So that car means a lot to me. A lot to me. And a good deal of my friends, like, even with the origin of my business, the majority of my business was run from the trunk of that car. Brandon, I don't know, man. All right. Yes, it Chuck, it really is. Name my next smoker Jetta. I don't know. It depends. I like alliteration. Vicky the vertical smoker. Bessie is the badass smoker or the big ass smoker. Or actually, Bessie is the kick ass smoker. Because in the beginning, I was just calling it the kick ass smoker. And then my Instagram followers named it Bessie. But Vicky the vertical smoker. Bernadette, just because the first time I cooked something in it, she burned everything. So that was why she's Bernadette. Sammy is because, like Sam I Am and the whole not green eggs and ham. Well, yeah, green eggs and ham. So that's why Sammy is the big green egg. And when I was putting the Traeger together today, I was like, you know what? Tracy. Boom. I didn't even cook on it first. Usually I cook on it. Jetta the moneymaker. Usually I cook on my smokers before they get named. Even my cars, like, I had a friend name the Mistress. The Jetta is affectionately known as the Mistress. And my friends know, like, whenever I talked about the Mistress, I was talking about the Jetta. And the reason my friend called it the Mistress is because they said I spent more time with that car than I did with my family. And it was true, because I used to drive around so much that it was like the car was like my mistress. My Passat, the Passat is named Debbie because Debbie is like, I almost keep Debbie pristine. And Debbie is short for debutante, okay? The debutante, that car is just like, it's hoity-toity compared to the Jetta. And that's why I called it the debutante, and then I just shortened it to Debbie. But, Debbie Diesel. Vanna's a white van. and one of you guys came up with Van White. My wife's old van, we called that one Sylvia because she was silver, and the new van she calls it Stella. We don't refer to it so much as Stella. I refer to my vehicles as their names more than she does, but Stella. Hey, Rich, how you doing, man? Have no fear. Here I come to save the day. Remy. You know what, man? Brandon, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with alliteration or a trait. Tracy Traeger, I like that one. It just came to me like Tracy. Like, had I thought about it harder, it could have been like Thomasina. I know a girl named Thomasina, but Thomasina is just way harder to spell, and not many people know Thomasina's. I know a Thomasina though. Tamika. I'm trying to think of other. Tammy. I worked with this girl. Her name was Tamitha, and we called her Tammy. Like, what's some other good T names? Yeah, Pimpala. You know what? I mean, I name stuff to make it easy. I told someone commented on alcohol name plus reverse flow. Yep. Somebody really wanted a boy. Yeah, probably right. Thomasine. Tanya. I know a couple Tanyas. I have a cousin named Tanya, but she's LaTanya. Most people who are named Tanya, they're not just Tanya. It's La or Duh or, Sha. Something like that. Shaquita. I know Shaquita. No, we are not talking about gorillas. Tina. But Tina isn't usually the name. It's short for Christina. Tristan. That's a good one. But Tristan, I feel like Tristan is more of a masculine name. This finna get enough to name after a female. I understand. William says he calls a Smokey the Bear because of smoke. William says he calls his smoker the Bear because it's smoky. Again, Trina, Katrina, usually is something, I got a friend name. See, Tanya to me is Tanya, but it depends on how you pronounce it. Just like Andrea versus Andrea. They're spelled the same way. It's like, come on. But, yeah. Tanya, probably. It just depends. Hey, Glenn, how are you doing? William, man. I named my... And I started saying this. I had someone comment on a picture once. I said Vanna was back. And she said, I love the way you name all of your equipment. And I told her, and I replied, well, I mean, call it Bear. It makes sense. It's Bear because it's smoky. I mean, that fits. Like, really, it does. Tabitha, that's a good one. But the whole thing was, she said she really liked the fact that I named all of my equipment. And my reply was, my equipment plays a role in what I'm doing. It's the cast, okay, in my life's movie. And hair trigger. But really, like, I'm good, man. I'm definitely good. I'm on top of the world. But yes, all of the equipment, so the things that you guys see me use, it's easier for me to give it a name than to say, oh, the Traeger or the Green Egg or and the homemade smokers are harder to refer to as, oh, the 275-gallon oil heat tanker smoker. Bessie. The vertical, the vertical reverse flow smoker. Vicky. Hey, the insulated reverse flow smoker that's just as wide and is, a hybrid of Vicky and Bessie. Bernadette. All right. Traeger finger. Tracy. Traeger has been dubbed Tracy. Like, usually once I give something a name, it doesn't change. It sticks. Like, my nickname Dash, I've had that nickname Dash for over 20 years. Well, just about 20 years. It's stuck. Stuck. But, hey, there are 27 of you guys here. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, you know what, William, I agree. Tallulah. Woo, goodness gracious. Oh, no, sir. Not at all. William, I agree. I'm not going to read that one because I don't want to get demonetized. God, Tallulah. What video did I use Bernadette? There's been a few videos where I've used Bernadette. So right after I got Bernadette, I used Bernadette maybe twice, and then Bernadette didn't perform the way that I needed her to, so I kind of put her off in the corner. Where did I get the what? All right. Where did I get it? What was it that I got? Rich, man, I screwed up a ribeye roast last year. How? How do you screw up a ribeye roast? Well, you know what? One time I screwed up a ribeye roast, and it was for Christmas. My brother, my younger brother. So I have a younger brother and I have a baby brother. My younger brother is 4 years my junior. My baby brother is from my dad's second marriage, is 15 years my junior. So my younger brother spent Christmas here at our house, and this was when the boys were young. So I don't even think my daughter was born yet. The nickname. All right. But I used a seasoning that was spicy, and I seared the rib roast, and it was like a 2-bone rib roast, nothing major. But I seared it before I put it outside on the grill to cook slowly. Googs. That's fine, Googs. Googs. Yeah. I am, or Gugs. Which one is it? Gugs or Googs? I used to ride with a guy, motorcycle, and we called him, he was Goosa. 2 bones. Look, man, this was just when it was just the 4 of us, all right? And, rib roast was not cheap. All right. Just got it 2 done in some parts. I cooked it in the oven. All right. Well, I seared this in a pan to Fidi. All right, Brandon. You can tell you have kids. That's all I got to say. But the whole thing was, I seared it in the pan, and I seared the hot seasoning, and it was like I set off a mace bomb in the house. Like, we all had to clear out, open up all the windows, and this is in December, so it was freezing in here. If rib roast is cheap, you must have missed it. Yeah. It was really like I set off a mace bomb, and man, like tears from pain from the seared peppers that were, I mean, it was, it tasted good, but man, I did the same thing when you boil shrimp instead. Yep. Sometimes you just put too much seasoning on it, and it's like, I'm breathing through my shirt because I can't inhale the pepper fumes, and I'm coughing like crazy, and my eyes are burning. And my brother has not stayed here for Christmas since, and that was probably, it's been like a good 5 to 7 years, if not longer. Like, man, it was bad. It was bad. Like, I've done a lot of cooking, and goodness, I messed that one. I screwed the pooch on that one. Like, really, really screwed the pooch on that one. But giblet gravy for Thanksgiving. I threw away all of those giblets and stuff like that, and or giblets, and I, like, I saved the turkey necks and I smoked the turkey necks for us. I know, Brandon, I know. Just let me finish saying what I'm about to say. As I am throwing these things away, I'm like, I know somebody could use them. I know somebody could use them. Googs, okay. So I got my nickname Dash because all of my friends had monikers from the goo. Yeah, Googs. Yep. I got my moniker from, or my nickname from, the Rockefeller camp. Okay, so Rockefeller as in Rockefeller Records. So Jay-Z was Hove, Beans, Bleak. Then you had Dame Dash. Dame Dash would drink a drink and dance around with bottles in his hand. I'm a happy drunk. Point blank. I mean, you guys can tell that by now. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping. And it was just one of those things where we would get together, and 20 years ago, Rockefeller was definitely on top. And my friends and I, we all had nicknames from the Rockefeller clique. Two of my friends, one, his name was Puda, and the other, his nickname was Puda, or Dunn, and the other his nickname was Pook, okay, like Pookie Brown. Those nicknames superseded the nicknames from the Rockefeller clique. I didn't really have a nickname at the time, so my nickname became my nickname. And of the 6 of us, like, mine was the only one that really stuck. Everyone else had a nickname prior to getting a moniker from the Rockefeller clique. Mine didn't. I didn't, and it stuck. Raul, hey, just keep it in mind. Just go get some spicy seasoning, crust whatever it is you have to cook, and sear it. I'm telling you now, get some swim goggles and a respiratory, yeah. Nice. Mango Sabroso, that's what's up. But yeah, that's how I got my nickname Dash. They probably did. Most of the people who are successful were those people who got picked on and were bullied and other things like that. Make it like it's a family tradition. Hey, get out. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here. All right. It is quarter of. Let's see. One left. Oh yeah, this is definitely how we do it. You don't do it that way? What's wrong with you guys? Why don't you do it this way? But I'm telling you, man, like I started talking about podcasts, and I started listening to, and a friend of mine recommended podcasts, and they said, "Hey, this is right up your alley." I'm like, "What is it?" They said this podcast is called "How You Built It," how you built that, and it's the guy who runs it. His name is Guy Raz. Excuse me. His name is Guy Raz, and he talks to entrepreneurs, dreamers, and people who have like done some amazing things, like the CEO of Starbucks, the Mark Cuban, the what's the lady who was on Shark Tank, the other woman who's in the real estate. I can't remember her name. I think it's Barbara something. The guy who founded Edible Arrangements, the guys who did Cliff Bar, the guys who did RX Bar, like there was another, like, not fitness bar, but it was another bar. But the whole thing is they were entrepreneurs, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, yo, I've done that. Yes, I've been there, and I can relate to that, to all of the stories, like every single one of those stories. Like, even the guy who was a music producer, he was Eve's manager, and he was not Lady Gaga. Was Lady Gaga? Yeah, it was Lady Gaga's manager. And I could understand where he was coming from and the struggle that he went through in order to get from point A to point B. And that's, it's crazy. Yeah. I have never done a ham because the hams I buy, again, I don't. Only people that eat ham in my household are my wife and kids, and I don't eat pork. So in case you don't know, I don't eat pork. And come on, focus. And it's typically easier for me to get one, like a small one. And again, they don't need a big ham. They're only eating it. It's just them. So I did actually buy a ham not too long ago. And excuse me, it was already cured and everything like that. And I did buy it, but it was only like a 3 or 4 pound ham. Yeah. The best barbecue show. I'm gonna say there was a barbecue podcast that I listened to, and it was brief. And like, sometimes people start talking about barbecue and it pisses me off because of the things that they do and I don't agree with, and the things that, and that's just me. So, and one of the other things, I don't necessarily like to listen to other people talk about barbecue is because it depends if you're doing competition barbecue, if you're doing backyard barbecue, if you're doing like catering. So a lot of times these people who are on these podcasts are doing competition barbecue, and I'm not really into competition barbecue. Pernil. Why don't I eat pork? It is for health reasons. Bumpy says example. Example of what? Of stuff I don't agree with? I mean, hopefully I said it. Yep. Bongo Sobroso, you're absolutely right. I have my style and they have theirs. And I don't necessarily. You're not going to be able to do competition style cooking for backyard style eating. Like, I will tell you in a heartbeat, like, people say, oh, or even regional stuff. People swear by Carolina barbecue is the best barbecue. And no offense to anyone who's in or from Carolina, but Carolina barbecue is pulled pork. All right? Yep. There you go. Chuck agrees. Chuck knows what's up. But if you talk to anybody from Carolina, they're going to say, oh, Carolina barbecue. What? Depending on where you are in Carolina, Carolina barbecue is whole hog. Carolina barbecue is pulled pork. Barbecue is more, and Brandon, don't take offense. Barbecue is more than just pork. And the reason I say that, and sometimes it bugs me, is because I don't eat pork. Because I don't eat pork, I don't hold it in such high regard as everyone else. Like, people who are straight drooling and fawning over bacon, to me, bacon is cheating. That's cheating. Somebody commented earlier, using a pellet grill is cheating. No, using bacon is cheating. Bacon hits on all of those unctuous taste buds that it doesn't matter what else accompanies it. It's going to be good because there's bacon and then there's whatever else it is. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't agree with him either, Jack. Roger, that guy, like some of the stuff he says, I'm like, really? What? Like, come on. You can't believe that. Like, I think some of it is just for TV. Good bacon on a turd and people would eat it. You're absolutely right, Chuck. Absolutely right. That's why I say, where's your Super Johnny? Johnny, where you at? Cook brisket, beef ribs, and oxtail ramen. Brandon, I know you're in South Carolina. So I mean, I know, you say barbecue, and it's funny. You have to say it correctly. If someone says, "What you know about barbecue?" Oh boy. You're one of those. I'm just gonna smile and wave. I don't want to offend you because you're standing in front of me. I'm like, oh, really? Yes, I run a barbecue business. What you know about barbecue? Where you from? I'm from Philadelphia, sir. Where are you from? I'm from here. All right. Okay. Here's the next question. I don't use. You know what? I'm just gonna head you off at the pass. I don't use vinegar. I don't use red pepper flake. I don't do that. Why not? That's barbecue. Have I offended you because I don't like vinegar? I don't like vinegar. I'm not going to use and cook with an ingredient that I do not like. Why do you have a problem with that? But that's not barbecue if you don't put no vinegar in it. Can you tell I have had this conversation before with more than one person? And just as politely and tactfully as I'm saying it to you, is how I was talking to this person that was arguing me down that I didn't know jack about barbecue. Barbecue. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to agree to disagree. And I tell people, hey, I have a more of a Kansas City, Memphis, Texas style barbecue. And if you don't like that type of barbecue, then I apologize, but I don't like vinegar, so I don't use it. And, yeah, there you go. My gosh, man. Barbecue is the methodology of preparing it, the methodology of cooking it. And some people just don't get it. Barbecue to some people is pulled pork. Bumpy says he smoked deer roast and wrapped it in bacon because of how lean it is, and that's cheating. But you're absolutely right. Because it's so lean, you have to add fat. There is, you know what, Bongo Sabroso, man, I have my style, and you're absolutely right. But sometimes when I see other folks, I get frustrated. And I'm sure, you know, if you're watching more than just me, and I would hope you're watching more than just me, because I am no authority. Like, I tell you how I do things, and I tell you what I like. And there are a lot of people who like what I like, but I am not everyone's cup of tea. Like, have you seen the dislikes in some of my videos? I don't know, they must not like beards. I'm a pretty likable guy. Let's see. Trying to catch up on the comments here. Yep. Oh my gosh. William, and there you have it. Okay? When people think, I know I'm not the funniest person on the planet. Like, I know I'm not the funniest person on the planet. But there are times when I do make jokes and crack jokes, but I don't belabor the jokes. Like, I don't want you to have to sit through whatever. I also try to be engaging. There are certain people that are just boring. Like, you couldn't pay me to sit through certain people's videos. They're just boring. Like, get to the point. Like, even, okay, so if you haven't or don't, I recommend, there are certain videos of mine where I recommend that you watch it at, if you go into the settings in YouTube, you can watch videos at faster than normal speed. I know I speak slowly. I speak slowly because of my parents. My parents were both teachers. Both of my parents instilled in me the value of pronouncing words correctly. In order to pronounce a word correctly, you have to slow down and speak. There's some people that really talk really quickly, and I don't have a problem talking quickly. If you need me to talk fast, I can talk fast. But there are some people who talk like this, and they speak like this no matter, even when they're trying to crack a joke, and it just gets like this. And it's just not for me. Like, if I'm going to waste valuable moments of my life, I want to watch something I'm going to enjoy watching. I mean, there are people who do car videos, and I'm super duper interested or trying to learn what the hell they're talking about. And I find the only way I can watch that video is I speed it up to 1.25 or 1.5 times the speed, because other than that, I just can't deal with the person who's talking. Hey, look, I'm trying to learn how to do something, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's just, sometimes you just need to speed up what you got to say. South Carolina mustard sauce. All right, barbecue is whatever you want it to be. You put your own passion into what you want it to do, and you're not going to use something that you don't like. You're absolutely right, Rich. And I apologize. I am 2 minutes behind, 3 minutes now behind the comments. But Rich, you're in Connecticut. If you haven't already, I don't know if you saw that the place is called Hoodoo Brown Barbecue. Highly recommend it. I think it's Ridgefield where they are. Go there. Tell me what you think. I like Franklin. Very simple, yet let the meat talk. Yes. I do not do injections. I don't inject. Franklin is from Texas. Yes. Yep. Bongo Sabroso, you're absolutely right. Huh. Bragg's amino acids like soy sauce. Okay. In your face. Make mustard and vinegar. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, B. Like, sometimes you just be like, yo, get to the point. Like, I know I can go off on tangents, but Tom, how you doing, man? Tom, do you really just stay up all night long? I've noticed Tom only comments between 1 and 5 in the morning. like only between 1 and 5 in the morning. I'd be like, man, this video's for Tom. Why isn't Tom commenting on the video? Uh, yep. New Year's smoke. Man, shoot. Nothing wrong with that, Tom. My sleep schedule has been off ever since I started. I work overnight too. It's never been the same. But then again, I've never been the type of person that needs 18 hours of sleep at night. I am a like 4 to 6 hour average, and I am golden, like golden. Smoking is a science, and if you break it down like a science, then you can repeat it. And the thing about good food is being able to repeat food. Repeat it. Pongo sabroso, man. Don't worry about that. Thank you. You know what? I say this, and I've said this before. If you guys were not watching, I would not still be putting out videos for you guys to watch. Hopefully that makes sense. I used to put out videos, and the videos were just kind of for me. And then my friend, the one who was sick and is helping me with the shirts, he asked me, he said, dude, you're good with barbecue. I need some help. And I'm like, all right, how can I help? He said, I need to know how to do X, Y, or Z. And I'm like, all right, I got you. I'll help you out. And I said, you know what? What is the best? I said, wait a minute. If you have that question, someone else might have that question. And that's what got me to put the videos out onto YouTube. And then, because I was in a little bit of a, not a slump, but it was like I put out a video here and I put out a video there, but I didn't have a mission, or I didn't have a purpose. But then it was like, my purpose to put out videos was to put videos out for him to watch. And I said, if he watches the video, and if he learns something from the video, there's probably someone else out there that can learn something about this, or learn something about that. What is the difference between this? And how do you get to there? You know, so it started by trying to help my friend. And like one of the videos that I put out there to help him is like the second highest viewed video on my channel. Preston, you're absolutely right. And I mean, there's like 30 of you guys that obviously I know you guys by name and you know, by Instagram. So, but yeah. We're about to get a big snowstorm here in South Carolina. Shut down. 2 to 4 inches of snow. Oh my god. Oh. 2 to 4 inches of snow, man. I don't even need a shovel for that. That's when I pull out my leaf blower and dust the cars off. Tom says he's cooking better since started watching. That's what's up, man. First rule of Fight Club. I mean, but my whole thing is, I don't know. This is an outlet for me. Like, really it is. And I want to help people because there's so much bad barbecue out there. And I want to teach you guys the technique, okay? I don't, and this is, and I know I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beers in, and I'm talking candidly because this is what we do at this point in the live stream. 2 to floor, man, exactly. Tom, tell him flurries. It's like, yo, it'll be here in the morning, it'll be gone in the afternoon. Like, you still have to go to work and school with 2 to 4 inches of snow. Brandon says that's a lot around there. He said government buildings and schools shut down. William, we don't even want to know. You know what? People drive horrible in the rain, period. Like, I don't understand it, man. They're just bad. We are definitely smoke nerds. All right. But so here's the thing. I've made mention of the fact that I used to teach computers in the past, right? And I used to go into my classes and I would tell my students, I'm like, listen, you have a book. The book is going to help you pass the test. I'm not going to help you pass the test. I'm going to help you in real life situations. If you have a real life situation that you need help with, I got you. I'm not, the book is there. We can talk about stuff in the book, but I'm going to tell you something pertinent about what I learned or what I did in the real world. So, and that was one of those things that my students, it seems like they all appreciated, you know, having real world solutions and real world topics that came up. Making videos about teaching others how to do what you do, whatever it is that you do. Not necessarily, Chuck. I mean, I'll agree with you to an extent. Like, I am also making videos to document my journey, not necessarily always about teaching somebody something. The thing is, in order to try to keep my videos interesting and or engaging, I'm trying to teach you a technique or I'm trying to teach you a method. But the real reason why I'm putting videos out there when I'm doing certain things is for documentation purposes. It's not always about the teacher. Hey, have a good evening. Mango sabroso. Buenas noches. Mango sabroso says we all learn from each other. You're absolutely right. Queen videos. I mean, I can't say that. I mean, Queen is just good. I mean, Queen is good. I don't watch drag queen videos, but I'm sure RuPaul would find that interesting. Never got into the whole elf on the shelf thing. Never got into the whole elf on the shelf thing. Preston's like, oh, hell to the no. Hell no. To the no. But I mean, guys, this is really just us hanging out. Like, and this is what I used to tell my students. And like my students, again, it was computer class. I was teaching computer class and I was teaching computers. And when you understand something, and if you really understand it, then you can teach someone else how to understand it. And one of the things that I really one of the things that I prided myself on was being able to take something complicated as computers and to turn it into basic English. And when you can take something complicated as computers and turn it into basic English and someone and that light bulb go off, yeah. Skeet, man, what you doing? What are you here for? You're 2 hours late. Usually the live streams are done by now. I mean, what you watching up? What's going on, man? How you doing? High school teacher, taught business classes, accounting, and such, and now work for online school, work-based learning coordinator. That's what's up, Brandon. Skeet, man, these live streams happen every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Be productive, be a contributing member to this live stream, and come on ahead of time. Come on in a timely fashion. Don't come in here just as soon as I'm getting ready to log off, man. 9 p.m. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Don't make me have to drive around the Beltway. Yes. A skeet, 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 skeet. That's what's up. Work-based learning coordinator. Brandon, if I ever need to get back into it, I might have to hit you up. Tom says he failed both of his computer classes in the 70s. That's funny, man. That's so funny. I was telling my son today, oh my gosh, man, this is gonna date me. I just so happened to be like, I think Amazon sent the email and it said, hey, we have thumb drives on sale. So it was USB 3.0. It was a 64 gig thumb drive for $15. USB 3.0, 64 gigs of storage for $15. I looked at that and I was like, oh my gosh. I vividly remember going to Staples or Office Depot, one of the two, and I got a thumb drive on sale. On sale. It was a 1 gig thumb drive. It was on sale for $65, and I thought that was a steal. Yeah, it was on Amazon. It was like one of the deals of the day. It was a 64 gig 3.0 and USB 3.0 64 gig was $15. And dude, when I say I was like sick, I remember, like vividly remember buying a thumb drive, and it was such a good deal. Like I bought that first one, or it was a 1 gig thumb drive was $65, and then I filled it up, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? And then I just so happened to see that they had it on sale again, and I got another one, and it was like 60. And what's even funnier is I named them Horse and Buggy. That was what I named the thumb drives, Horse and Buggy. You know what's funny? I do still have it too. I lost the one that I named Horse was the one that was $65. I lost that one, but I do still have Buggy, and that was the one that I got on sale for $60. Yes, I remember. Now, one of the things that I will honestly say, I am too young to remember using a 7.25 or 7.5 inch floppy, but I did use a 5 inch floppy, and I definitely used a 3.5 inch floppies. Definitely, Preston. Real recognizes real, steel sharpens steel. Laser disc, wow. I remember I was in elementary school, so this is in the early 90s, early 90s. There was a teacher that had a laser disc player, and I remember we watched movies on a laser disc in his science class. It was dope. In the conference room at my job, my program manager, he has some floppies in there. They're rubber floppies that they're in their coasters, and yo, it's so funny watching the computer geeks at my job geek out over these 2.5 inch floppies. So Those of you guys that are, the 17 of you that are following me on Instagram, just comment I for Instagram. Golly, man, I don't remember beta tapes. I don't remember beta, but I do. I'll take that back. There was a woman that lived across the street from me. She had a beta player, and it was funny because she had a VHS and a beta player next to each other on her floor model TV. All right, I'm gonna post a picture tomorrow of these floppies. Yep, there was a 7-inch, a 5-inch, and a 3.5-inch floppy. But I'm gonna post a picture of these floppies tomorrow, and basically say something about, if she doesn't know what these are, she's too young for you. Definitely know all about the side B. Preston is old enough to remember Laserdiscs, young enough to think they were. It was old news. Ski said, I wasted money on an HD DVD player and movies. Man, you never did. So one of the things I remember when that whole HD versus Blu-ray was happening, they said that the industry usually went with whichever form factor porn adapted. And that was the determining factor. I don't know why, but that stuck with me. I just... that's funny. Preston, so I just really think that it was because I got more sleep today. I worked from home today, and it was because the federal government was closed. I didn't actually have to go to work, and I didn't have to do anything. So, but if I'm tired, I'm tired. Typically on Wednesday mornings, I wake up at like 4. I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and then I have to drive to work, and I have to drive home, and X, Y, and Z. Today, I actually slept in until 5. It was after 5 o'clock, to be honest with you guys. Actually, it was closer to about 5:15, so I slept for a whole another hour. And then I got up and I drove up the street, got my coffee, and I came back home. And I didn't have to do anything today because of the funeral. Definitely, man. Preston says the HD DVD was better quality. You know what? I don't remember. But, you know, yeah. William says he went to bed at 5 o'clock. Man, I'm just getting up. But that's all part. Like, today was a very easy day. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Preston, I do these live streams, and I know, like, the only reason why I do the live stream on Wednesday night is because on Thursday mornings, I don't have to get up until 6 in the morning. So when I finish the live stream at 11, by the time I finally get to sleep, I'm looking at about a 6-hour sleep time. And usually that's well or a lot longer than I typically sleep. So that's why I do them on Wednesday nights, because I go into work late on Thursdays, get my kids ready, take them to school on Thursday, and go from there. So everybody wants to be Fetty Wap. Nobody wants to lose an eye. I'm not about Fetty Wap at all. Preston, man, thank you. That really means, I mean, there's a couple of you guys that like are here every single week, And that is why I do this. Like, I was upset, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? Well, today is the 5th. So 2 weeks ago, when I couldn't do the live stream for Thanksgiving. And the reason is because I had been up all day long. And I knew I had to get up and cook. And I was trying to take a nap. Like, I took a 1-hour nap. And even my nap was interrupted because I tried to lay down at 8:30 knowing I had to get up at 9:30 in order to get up to start cooking. And my son was playing Fortnite and my wife was playing a movie upstairs, and I'm trying to, like, I was just like, ah. I tried to find a quiet area in the house to try to take a nap. And it just didn't work out. Like, as soon as I felt like my brain was racing and racing and racing because I was trying to figure out everything I had to get done. I was like mentally playing the cook in my head. Like, you know how you see race drivers and they're sitting there in the car and they're like, right, left, right, left. And I'm doing this backwards because I know the camera's backwards. So, like, right, left, right, left. But that's how I was, and I could not get to sleep. I don't sleep well. Usually I lay down and I like, my brain just won't shut off at all. But if I sit still long enough, I fall asleep. But if I actually try to lay down and go to sleep, I'm sitting there like this. Like, did I turn off the Traeger? Did I assemble it correctly? Man, I really need to change the oil on Vanna. Like, things I need to do. And then other YouTube related stuff, like, yeah. But I don't sleep very well, so. I have thought about doing a sleep study, Preston. I really have. Nah. Yep. You know what? But, like, my mind, it's not even that my mind is always racing. It's just when I try to lay down and go to sleep, I don't. But if I sit still and I'm like trying to do something else, I'll be asleep. Like, I have a hard time. I don't go to movies. I try not to go to the movies because if I sit still long enough in a dark place, I'm asleep. Always. Writing. Writing what? Sleep study? William, it doesn't always work that way. And it's not sleep apnea. Like, and maybe it is. I won't say I've looked into it, but I have thought about it. Jack says he did sleep studies for the Air Force. That's how he got paid. I thought about doing a sleep study, but here's the problem. I can't do a sleep study because usually the sleep studies are in times when I'm cooking. And on the time that I'm cooking, I'd rather make money doing cooking than, make money doing a sleep study. No. I'm not saying that I don't have, I know plenty of people that have sleep apnea and sleep with the CPAP machines. And I mean, I know. I just, I haven't sat still long enough to find out what the problem is. And maybe that's what I need to do. Bumpy. Usually I'm done too. But, like, I don't know. Preston might be on to something. Preston, maybe I do need to stick to beer, but I mean, jeez. Changed his life, he says. It's one of those things, Preston. You know how people say, why did I wait so long before I did X, Y, and Z? I'm sure that by the time I do go for a sleep study, afterward, whatever the results may be, it might be one of those things where it says, hey, I found this out. I don't know. Just imagine the TV test screen. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Chuck. I usually, and you know what's crazy? When my wife and I first got together, and this was, shoot, she and I have been together for probably 17 years now. 17, 18 years. When we first got together, she had to have a TV on in order to fall asleep, and it used to bug the hell out of me. Nowadays, I fall asleep faster when I have the TV on than when I have the TV off. When I have the TV off, I'm just sitting like, what kind of car was that just rolled past? Hey, is that a bus or is that a truck that just rolled past? Why is that person yelling? Like, who are they talking to at this time of night? That they're fussing them out. Like, that's the stuff I think about. All right. Jack, you're right. You're right. Barbie, that's funny. Said I used to have a problem sleeping until I got my stick burner. Man, I could tell you a story, y'all. You don't want to know the stories. Yeah, I almost called me. Wow, Preston. I mean, I know. I don't necessarily need noise to go to sleep. Sometimes it's just like, the worst is Monday night football games or Thursday night football games for me. Man, I be halftime. The whole thing is like watching the game. Like this past Monday night, the game was good enough to keep me on the edge of my seat, and that kept me awake. But when there's like boring, and then it goes to commercials, and I'm not interested in the commercials, I'm asleep. If it does not hold my attention, I'm asleep. Tom, driving up to you, man, that was a struggle. Sitting still for a very long time, but you know what? I had that that kept me alert was listening to the podcast I was listening to, because I was so interested in what they were talking about that it kept me awake. And I think that, like, a lot of times, I've told you guys this before, but a lot of times I listen to YouTube videos while I'm driving. Again, for the same reason, because it keeps me awake, or helps to keep me awake. But, all right, guys. Two pits. Yeah, I don't know about the mask, man. I'm not really sure. Preston, that's funny, but usually I'm the last one in the bed. Typically, shoot, my wife, man, if she could go to sleep at 8 o'clock every night, she would. I don't have a sign. But you guys are funny. Oh, man. I'm sure Betty is blushing, Jack. Hey, I'm out too, guys. Look, thank you so very much again. I know I say thank you a lot, but I really, really do mean it. Fall asleep to drop a hat. Lunch. I sleep for 50 minutes. Gosh, man. Yo, my wife does that, man. It irks me to no end, because I will be laying in bed at actively trying to go to sleep, actively trying to fall asleep, and she'll come in and lay down and be asleep within 30 seconds of her head hitting the pillow. And I'm like, how? Like, even if I am like off my keister, intoxicated, I can still be like, why aren't I asleep yet? Why aren't I asleep yet? Like, seriously. Oh my gosh, man. I am definitely an insomniac. Preston, I'll look into it. All right. Thank you, Brandon, for hanging out. Preston, thank you. William, Jack, Betty, thank you guys. Rich, yo, big ups, man. Rich, if I was as close to you are to Jimmy Shop, I would get nothing done. I would always be over there hanging out. Yeah. Tom, I know you will, man. Yeah, I already know. So, I've gotten the video. That's my circadian rhythm is so far off. Like, all right, and I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna talk about it more because if I do, he said his CPAP will knock him out in about 15 minutes. Jack, you be safe too. Hopefully you don't have your socks on tonight. All right. Thank you guys again. YouTube podcast. Daily YouTube podcast. Yep. I should be live next week. Yes, sir. No, I am good in the morning. I really just like have a hard. It depends on the day of the week. I'm not even gonna lie. Another great live stream, buddy. Great night. Thank you very much. Yes. I try. Bar 20 barbecue. Thank you. Tom, thank you. Rich. Googs. Be easy. Alright. I am out. And I am gone.